This is the Express Lane podcast with
Kevin Stan. And we have guest Ava Difiore.
Difiore, yeah.
Difiore, okay.
You got it.
How's it going? Thanks for coming
Yeah,
out.
thanks for coming
Of
around.
course, thank you for having me. It's awesome.
We're kind of going through the whole list of like Angie's friends, basically.
Okay.
Like we had Dallas on last time
Yeah.
and Isaiah, and then we were talking with you. I had Dallas introduce us at Chaps, the
Yep.
benefit. I
Yeah.
was like, I feel weird because I'm the older guy, and like there's all these talented musicians and people around. And I'm like, hey, like I kind of do a small thing. If you guys want to come on?
No, it's awesome. I mean, I've seen it a whole bunch, so it's like kind of cool that I'm like here. Like this is it. This is awesome.
That's
it's
fun.
really
That's
cool.
fun to like. I don't think anybody watches or listens at all. Like I do.
No, that's definitely not true.
Yeah, like, my aspect is I come here and I like bullshit with Stan and whoever we have as a guest, and then I leave thinking that that's it, and that's
No.
never gonna happen. Like it's never gonna be listened to again.
Oh my gosh, no. Well, I am definitely a listener, so you got
thank
one
you.
here.
Oh,
You're
thank you.
welcome. You're
One
welcome.
of our one of the cool things, we were at Angie's, the vinyl closet, and Andrew's dad comes up to me, and I didn't know him, I never met him, and he's like, hey, I watch your thing like a bunch. I'm like, huh?
Like you just don't expect it.
Yeah, thanks, man. I
Yeah.
appreciate that.
Yeah, I get the same thing. Like sometimes, like when I was just in school, and like I would just have like these people come up to me and be like, "Oh, you're singing stuff," like, and I'm like, it just takes a while for me to put together the connection of like, oh yeah, I do sing, and people are gonna recognize me for it. So I get where you're coming from.
And like I said on the last one, I was like, I didn't really ever hear you sing at any other places, but we were at the fest, and I was like, I was up at the beer thing, and I was like, I could hear you. I was like, damn, I didn't think that little girl sung like that.
I mean,
really good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. I definitely get that a lot because I feel like, I don't know, I'm just like a young 18-year-old blonde girl, and when I go into like these restaurants and gigs, it's just totally not what people expect. Like just for a sound, even, just yet alone to sing, but just to have the sound that I do. Like even just since I was really young, like I've always just been told I have like a much mature sounding voice.
Yeah, so I guess that'll just lead us into, how did you figure that out? Like, what prompted you to start singing?
I mean, I always was really singing from the time I was really little. Like, my parents, they would tell me, there was this one time they, like, had this, like, birthday party. I had to be, like, 3 years old, and I was at Jamboree, and I went up to the lady running the party, and I said, can I sing a song for everyone? And so she was like, yeah, I mean, I guess so. So then I went up, and it was just, family, friends, like, friends, cousins, and I just went up and I started singing like Twinkle Twinkle Little Star and like the ABCs, like just all this like really little stuff. So it's just always kind of been something that I was driven to. And then as I got older, my parents just said, all right, well, you know what, maybe let's get her a keyboard and see what she can do there. And then I started playing the keyboard, and that was really when like I put the connection together of just like being a musician, singing and playing, and it's just always really been a part of my life. So I've never been like into sports either. So like that aspect of my life, I played softball once. I wasn't very good at it. I was really bored. It was during COVID. At least I can say I tried. But I mean, it's just always been like the number one thing in my life.
Damn, all right. Do you come from a family of singers or musicians or anything like that? It's
Nope.
just you just like, this is what I want to do.
Yeah, I have no idea where I really got it from. Like, nobody in, like, my immediate family on either sides does anything really music-related. On my mom's side of the family, we said, oh, like, maybe, like, her great-grandmother or something, or her grandmother played piano. I don't remember, but really, like, nobody does really anything musical. I mean, my parents, they're big music fans. My dad loves to listen to music, and I think that part of why, like, I'm such like a musically driven person, and it's such a big part of my life is because of that. And he's always sending me songs, and always we would play this like game in the car where he would have me like guess the song and guess the artist. And my mom has always been into music too, so I mean I definitely think it's because of them that it's had the impact on me. But yeah, there's really nobody else who does that kind of thing, so
That's pretty crazy. Like, because like I have siblings who played soccer, so it's like I got older watching them. I was like, oh, I
Right.
want to do that.
yeah.
And then my same thing with they were in the band in high school, like
Right.
playing the flute and the French horn.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I want to try music. And I was like, so I tried, and I was like, oh, okay, maybe don't try music anymore. But
Yeah.
it's like I had those factors of like, well, what are they doing? And it's just interesting that you were like, no, this is it, and nobody can tell me that that I'm not doing this.
Yeah, pretty much. And I mean, it's just me and my sister, so I'm the oldest, and then I have a younger sister too, and she's like super athletic, super into soccer, like not very musical, like she just like, it's just so crazy. It's just like, I don't know, I'm just the only one who's had the at least drivenness for it, but
Well,
cool.
you don't got to worry about her stealing your thunder then.
No. So I mean, she's got her thing. She's pretty good. She's she's cool. She's a cool girl.
Another thing that I noticed, like, the reason that I asked is because, like, or asked you to come on is because, like, you do really good with promotion. Like, when
Thank you.
I don't know if you do that yourself. Like,
I do.
Just put those out there. It's like, it's very concise. It's like you, and then it's where you're going to be at, what time. Like,
Yep.
That's what I was trying to tell Dallas and Isaiah. I'm like, set that up so that if anybody is looking for you or if anybody is bored, like, hey, this thing keeps popping. Like, your things keep popping up in my feed, like, where you're going to be at.
Right. That's awesome.
Do that. Like, that's very good.
Thank you. I mean, it's good to know that it works. I mean, that's just something that I've always kind of naturally enjoyed doing. So it's kind of just like a fun part of the job. Like, I get to like make these posters and, say, all right, hey, like, hey, everyone, this is where I'm going to be. If nobody can make it, that's totally okay. I'll still be here anyways. You know what I mean? Like, it's just one of those fun things for me. And, it's just like, I don't know. It's just cool. I've always enjoyed doing it.
And that's why it's so hard to get people to come to your stuff. Like, you know that, right?
Yeah.
Like, even people that like you, even people that want to see you, because there's so many conflicts. But it's going to be that one time where somebody's scrolling through their feed that don't have anything to do, and they're like, oh, she's right down the street. I could definitely make this one.
Yeah, exactly. It's those, like, pop-up things just like that, where it's just like, all right, well, hey, you never know. Like, I used to work at the Collegeville Bakery, and my boss, Steve Carcari, he told me, you never know until you try. You miss 100% of the shots that you don't make. So that's always been, like, kind of something that's, like, driven me because – I mean, it's just so true. Like, you never know until you try. You have to go out there and try it. And, now I have people come up to me and they're like, you look really familiar. And then, they put the connection together. Oh, I've seen your posters on Facebook. I've seen you on Facebook. So it's like, oh my gosh.
Like you're a little local star.
Yeah. I mean, it's really cool. I mean, I literally just got Facebook like 3 months ago. I'm not like a guru or anything, but I mean, I've always done my Instagram posts, but it's really cool. It's really awesome.
No, that's cool. You'll be at the grocery store not having a great hair day, and people will be like, hey, aren't you?
Yeah, it's always, I mean, it doesn't really happen all that often. Like, I don't think it's anything that special, but between, like, the people I know from music and just from school and just knowing people because I know people, I mean, it happens sometimes, but, I mean, I don't think of myself as, like, extra, like, famous or cool or anything. Like, I'm just a girl from Collegeville who sings, you know what I mean?
Yeah. That's very cool.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's so you haven't running into people. You haven't found that is it awkward at all, or just like, oh no, like, yeah, I play music and on Friday I'm at the bar, so come hang out.
I mean, pretty much. Like, it's just hey, like, how are you? How you doing? Just see what's going on, see how they've been. It's just like a very casual, just how's it going? How's life?
I don't
how
think
you doing? Person to person,
I would make it awkward, like, not on purpose, and then, like, halfway
probably
through it would get to be on purpose.
I mean, sometimes it does get awkward. I mean, there's, I think it's impossible to, have no awkwardness,
True. Well, it was awkward when I was like, hey, Dallas, like, first of all, I had a few drinks, and I was like, all right, we can do this now. Dallas, could you introduce me to Ava? Because, like, I see you everywhere, like, all those people. Yeah. Like, I see them at every function, and I'm just, like, keep to myself till I have a couple drinks, then I can get the courage. Hey, what's up? Like, I'm around. Like, I'm friends with Ange. I'm friends with Russ.
Right.
Try to expand. But, yeah, it is always
it's
awkward.
Awesome. Yeah.
For me, anyway.
It's inevitable. I trip over my words a lot sometimes because there's just so many thoughts running through my brain that it's just they all mumble into each other. But, I mean, it happens. We're human. What can you do?
I like it.
Mm-hmm.
So, where have you played at?
I mean, I played in a lot of Montgomery County, so
I feel like you're playing every weekend, right?
Yeah, I mean, it slowed down a little bit in comparison to what I was doing over the summer. The summer was absolutely insane. I've counted and I played like 25 times over the summer, and there's only like 12 weeks. So
wow.
there were some weeks that I was playing like Wednesday through Saturday, and then I would be playing 3 times this week, and I'd have a couple breaks in between. For as much as I was playing, I was also at the beach a lot, which was really cool and really fun. But I mean, it was a busy summer, Now I'm probably doing like 5 things a month since school started too. So I'm a freshman at Westchester. So I commute. So I'm there Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So, it's been a little bit more difficult to navigate, but I've still tried to make it work as much as I can. And I've still been playing like a decent amount, which is pretty cool.
That's impressive.
Yeah, that's cool.
School, like especially like college, is a full-time job. Like you have to not only you're commuting, so you have to get there.
Yeah.
You have to spend the time in class, and then like all of the work after. Like it's a lot. And
yeah.
I think that's really impressive to be able to like I'm gonna be playing music. So
thank you.
Here's all my homework, and come check me out.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it's definitely busy. Like I like to be busy though. I like to keep my schedule packed. I like to have my days like that. See how it goes. Just try to, stay on the grind, I guess. I don't know. But, I mean, yeah, it's cool.
And then now you can expand to Westchester.
Yeah, so, I mean, I played in Exton a little bit, and so that's, like, kind of close to, like, the main line there. I do a lot of the booking myself. I use a couple booking agents here and there, but, I try to, see what's around. I haven't been up a whole lot yet to, like, explore, like, the town of Westchester, but, I mean, there's a couple bars in there. It's a little bit different because a lot of the bars, like, they want, like, bigger bands and stuff. But normally sometimes, like, if they have that, they'll do, like, a happy hour or something like that, which is, like, a perfect opportunity. Any opportunity to play is a good opportunity. So just take it as they come and see what happens. And a lot of the times, like, the big bars, like, if they do have bands on, like, Friday, Saturday, whatever weekend nights, on the weekday nights, they'll have, like, a solo acoustic or something like that, which is pretty cool. So, that happens too.
Yeah, I think the Sidebar, if that's still out there, they would always have like slow bands downstairs for like the older crowd.
Yeah. Huh, that's cool.
Now, when would you go would you go out to say Westchester and like go to bars, be like, hey, I see you have live music, like I'm a musician, would you hire me or use me for something, or would you?
Yeah.
Is it like more beneficial to like find an open mic and kind of like get into the scene a little bit near there first?
I mean, I think it's honestly a little bit of both. I think that, go to the open mics, which is, I should go to more, but it's hard when it's like so busy and stuff. But go to the open mics, see who you meet. And, there's always so many talented musicians and stuff like that. Like, you never know who you're going to run into. You never know what kind of connections they're going to have. And a lot of the places that, they've said to me like, oh, like come to our open mic, we'll check you out, and then we'll like book you from there or like go further or stuff. But I mean, honestly, I think it's beneficial both ways, just to try.
Yeah,
that's kind of one of my questions was like, so I see you playing like at a small bar or coffee shop in like Royersford or something, like something out there, and I'm like, well, how did you get that? Like, who did you call? Who did you talk to? You're just like, hey, I sing, and can I come do that? And they're like, okay.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, a lot of it, like, I just find places on, like, social media, and I'm just like, hey, I sing, let me play for live music. You won't be disappointed. Like,
do they like say like, oh well, send us like a video of you singing?
I'll normally refer them, so I like have my website, so I'll like send them my website link, or if I message them like on like Facebook or Instagram, then I have my page directly linked to that. But I have like videos up on my Instagram, so I'll say like, oh, like check out my Instagram, so that way you can like get some of what my sound is like. And sometimes they'll say, all right, we need a little bit more, so then I have stuff on my YouTube, so I try to like spread it out, so that way if someone wants to find me, they can.
Yeah, really make them hit all the socials, as much exposure as you can.
Yeah, exactly. Run up the views.
But that's good. It's like I got away with so much stuff as a kid because my philosophy for years has been the worst thing you can do when you ask somebody for something is they say no. So and like Patrick, my brother, all the time was like, "How did you get that?" I was like, "I just asked." Yeah. And like they said, "Yeah."
Exactly. You never know. You just gotta try.
Yeah. My favorite saying of yours that I use all the time now is, "I'll let future Stan worry about that." That's a good one.
I just got exposed on that with me and Brittany are like, I started rewatching How I Met Your Mother it's on Hulu, and I'm watching it with her, and there's like the one character Ted is like, oh, that's future Ted's problem. And she's like, yo, shut the fuck up. She's like, you got that shit from there? I was like, yeah, like it's like not a lot of people watched it, and I was just like, I'm taking this.
Thief, damn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, not an original,
well,
but
I'm still using that shit all the time.
So do I.
Exactly.
So what else you got going on? Like, so what's the biggest? I asked those guys, and he was like, well, when I was a toddler or something. What's your biggest place that you've played? Or most people, I guess.
That is such a tough question.
All right, and then do you still get nervous or no?
It really depends. Like, sometimes depending on what kind of event it is, I'll get nervous. But I mean, a lot of the nerves I don't really have anymore, because when I was in high school, I just graduated last year. So I'm a freshman at Westchester, and I graduated from Perk Valley High School. So when I was in high school, I would sing the national anthem for like a lot of like the games and stuff. So I think that was honestly like the peak nervousness that I'll ever hit in my whole entire life, because
you got to see those people every day.
yeah, like I'm going to school with these people every single day, and like, you know, people like me, people don't like me, whatever. Like, it's just a whole
like,
it's just a whole bunch of like high school stuff. But I mean, honestly, I think that was like probably the peak nervousness that I'll ever hit in my life, just because it's just high school. Like, it's just high school. It's just how it goes.
There's a lot more into it than just like singing.
Yeah, exactly. But
did you ever flub at the national anthem?
No,
any words?
I haven't.
So you're better than the guy that sung it at the World Series last night. That dude messed up.
Yeah. But I mean, honestly, I will say though, like, doing that is definitely scary, but everyone was like always really supportive of me. Like, middle school, high school, like, I feel like, you know, there really wasn't many experiences just in general, like friends, family, peers, you know, coworkers. Everyone has just always been really supportive of me throughout my whole entire life, which is something that I'm really grateful for. And especially the school, like, you know, they were really supportive, and they loved to like have me sing at stuff, and they would ask me to come back. And, you know, it was just, I mean, it was a cool experience to have and to be able to do that and look back on, you know.
Also, it probably shows that you have some kind of talent, because they're like, hey, we're good on the national anthem. We're going to try somebody else.
Yeah, so it's cool. It's really cool.
Have you looked into anything like that with Westchester yet? Like,
not yet, but I definitely want to. I mean, I definitely think that would be really cool, just for like a football game or something like that. But I mean, Westchester's a big school, so it's got a lot of people. So, you know, the odds might be lower, but I mean, you never know until you try.
The worst thing they can do is say no.
Exactly.
So how'd you link up with all of, like, this crew? Like, so if you're from Collegeville, like, how did you get with them? I guess, is Dallas from Collegeville too, or he's from Phoenixville?
He's from Phoenixville.
Okay.
So, all right. So, buckle up. It's kind of a story.
Here we go. Good.
So, when I was like 13, and she has her coffee shop before it was, or the record store, sorry. Before it was in the location it was now, in the old one. So this was like years and years and years ago. And she was friends with my parents in high school, so she knew my dad, she knew my mom, and, you know, my dad comes from a big family, so she knew like all of his siblings and stuff. And so I don't really remember exactly how it came to be, but she pretty much, I don't know, like, I just ended up playing in her old shop. So she says it all the time, like, I'm one of the people, I am the person who's played in the most for like the longest amount of time, which is really cool.
Okay.
So I've known her for a really long time. She's been like a really big staple in like just being able to like play and giving me like a place to play as literally like a 13-year-old. You know, not really knowing what I'm doing, not really knowing like how to get to, you know, where I wanted to be, which is where I am now and playing gigs on my own. So there's that. And then I don't know, like, she's just always kind of had big events and stuff. So the She Fest, you know, I really got to connect with, you know, the girls of Dinah and, you know, the whole band of Dinah, which was really super awesome. And, you know, and Dallas was there. So, I mean, we've always kind of been around each other, and, you know, they're just great people to be around. Like, their energy is just always so, like, caring and, like, giving and kind. And, you know, it's really awesome. And I knew Cece from, I coached a voice competition called Julia's Joy. So I knew Cece, and I was coaching her through that. So, like, I was friends with her through that. And then, I don't know if you guys know this, but it's kind of funny. So I'm dating Joe, the drummer. So,
okay.
Yeah, so then that kind of happened, and then it just really kind of, like, all unfolded. Like, I mean, it's just really cool.
That's why I thought you were going to walk over.
Oh, yeah, I know. I thought about it, and, you know, it just ended up happening. I just wasn't thinking, but, you know, it was really cool. I mean, they're just, even now, like, they're just good people to be around. Then, you know, even when I wasn't really close with them, you could just always tell that they have just such a great energy. Every single one of them, you know.
And that's what, like, Dallas pretty much said the same thing. That it's like, they're young playing music, and it's like, oh, look at those other young people that are interested in playing music. Like, let's talk. And then it's like, they said, like, the energies just kind of matched up, and it's like, well, like, we both like the same things. Like, why aren't we hanging out and doing things together?
Oh my gosh. I mean, it's so cool. And, you know, yet alone just everybody's personality, like, you know, personality, you know, makes for friendship, but the talent alone, like, everybody is so incredibly talented. It's just mind-blowing. Like, it's just, you know, it's like, you know, you have friends, and, you know, you have friends, and then it's just like, sometimes I go to like the Dinah gigs and I watch them play, and I don't think there's been one time where I've been like, I'm not blown away, because each of them is just so talented. Like, it's just crazy. It just blows my mind. And they're so in sync with each other too. Like, they're just such a collective group. And I mean, I really could go on and on for hours about how much I love them. But I mean, I don't want to run the clock here on how much time I have, but they're the best. And Dallas is incredible too. I mean, it's really cool to have like people that, just like a solo musician. Like, we're just people with the guitar and singing. And Isaiah, he's awesome. He's a cool dude.
Have you thought about like banding up, I guess, or like grouping up with anybody? Or
I mean,
you just like, do you like the solo stuff better?
I do. Honestly, part of me has always thought, like, this is just, my own thing. I never really thought I was like good enough to be in a band. Like, I don't know. I just always kind of like did my own thing. So I never really like, I mean, it's not something I'd be opposed to. It's just, if something happens, then it happens. But, not really putting any like pressure, putting any driving force on it. I just never really like thought of myself as like that kind of person. I don't know. I mean, I did band camps when I was younger, and we would like, we were like 13, and it was just like a bunch of girls, and we kind of like delved into each instrument. So that's where I started to learn how to play guitar, because through that band camp and through that music school, rock and roll after school, which Isaiah went to as well, which is really funny. I just found out that a couple weeks ago, but yeah, I don't know. If it happens, it happens.
Cool.
That's the coolest thing about, like, I first noticed it with Andrew. It was like, and when we had Dinah, and like, these kids are like all pretty cool. Like, maybe I just hung out with the wrong crowd in high school, but like,
you definitely did.
Like, you guys are all positive. Like, you all seem like you know what you're doing. Like, you're all like seem like good kids. Maybe that's your parents, but
I mean, like, just to be around everybody now, like through high school, through middle school, you have friends, they come and go. It's just part of life. But I mean, I really truly can say, like, they just are such nice people. Like, I don't even mean just Dinah. Like, I mean, Catherine, her whole family, Dallas, his whole family, the Montalbanos, the Pisanos, like every single one of them. Like, they can't even go unforgotten, because they're just they're so nice. Like, they're just good people, you know.
I'm glad I found them, and then
yeah,
me
too.
Hey,
I'm very grateful.
Turning you
Kevin.
around.
I know. Starting to see the light.
Yeah,
I might go to church next.
Yeah, I mean, they're just great people to be around. Like, I just feel like a better person,
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's really cool. Very cool.
I just want to sit in that.
Yeah.
Well, what else you got? Like, so you're on your way. You're singing.
Mm-hmm.
Do you make your own music, or are you like working on that?
So, I mean, I definitely have songs. Which is funny, I've never stepped into a recording studio ever.
Okay.
I mean, it's definitely something that I want to do, but I want to make sure that when I put out a song or when I put out an album, I want it to be the absolute best version that it can be. And I don't want to put anything else out if I know that it's not the best. So I've kind of just been like, working.
That can hinder you, because like, so think about how cool it is that you have social media as a talented person, a young person. Like, just seeing that dude that has that little guitar that did that, I forget what song it is, but it's just him with a little camera, and it caught fire, and like now he's super popular.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I forget what song it is. It's
like,
just like a weird
classic
little
rock
guitar.
song, like...
It's his own song.
Was it?
Damn.
I'm thinking of the Dreams, but that was the guy on the skateboard.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I know what video that is.
Wrong viral
yeah,
video.
That's Dogface. No, but another guy, like, so he's just like, he has a little bit of talent. He's playing a little guitar, and it just, for whatever reason, it just touched enough people, and then it spread like wildfire.
Yeah.
So like, that's not the most perfect version, but I see what you're saying. With,
Yeah.
like, you want to put out the best version you can.
Yeah. When it's my music, like, I mean, I've like put like clips and like snippets of like pieces of things, but nothing that like I felt like, all right, I'm ready to take this in the studio, and when somebody hears my name, they're gonna think of this, and it's gonna be the absolute best thing. It's going to be my best work. It's going to be my best product. Because, I mean, I feel like when you put out just one song for a certain set amount of time until you release something else, or if you release something else, that song is like your whole entire image. It's your whole entire brand. It's, what people are going to think of when they, go to search your name on Apple Music, Spotify, whatever platform they use. When you search my name, my song, whatever song it is, that's going to be what comes up first.
Yeah, it's like Tom's Cafe, that song that went super viral. Like, that's what I think of. Like, they don't even well, they speak English because they're singing in English, but they're like German guys.
Yeah.
Like I listened to the other stuff, I was like, it was just that one thing that was like really, really good,
Yeah.
and that's what I think of them.
And that's all it takes,
That's
especially like
Mhm.
just to get. I forget. Oh man, it's gonna annoy me. But there's some. It was a guy in like the 70s. Was a one-hit wonder here in the States, but he sells out arenas in like South Africa.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was on a podcast.
Yeah,
I heard that.
Yeah.
But it just you don't think that this guy is big, and then you go somewhere else. It's like, holy crap! Like he's doing arena tours. What is this?
Right.
Or
Yeah.
if I was you, I would like if I was all of you magicians, like or magicians.
Magicians. Yeah.
Well, you are because you're doing something I could never think of doing.
That's what
but,
Stan thinks music is magic.
Music
It
is
is.
magic.
All right. Anyway, and if all of you young musicians, like you're already on there, like you should all day 24/7 forget college, just making TikToks and Instagram reels.
I know.
And that's it.
It's really a really, really big thing. And that's why I try to like stay on top of like, doing my social media, because that's how, things spread now. Like, and it takes one, 15-second video to totally change your life.
Or even your song. Like, unfortunately, the Fred Blankenberg guy that we had on, he's Russ's friend, he had that chicken wing song, and it's like, he didn't get paid, but it's all little kids that played Fortnite knew about it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's really cool.
So that could be you.
I know. You never know.
You could have a Fortnite song. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
I think
You're
that's the
too.
end goal
Whatever
nowadays.
pays
That's
for
pretty
your own
cool.
studio,
Yeah.
that's what
that
you'll
is
do.
facts. That's very true. That's very true. Yeah. So tell me about now you guys. Now I'm gonna be the interviewer. How did you guys like get started with this?
Go
We
ahead.
worked together,
Yeah.
and I
We listened to
so you
Yeah.
listen to podcasts, and I was driving around for 8 hours a day in silence, going, "This
Right.
should change."
and I'm the weirdo.
Yeah, I know. You are.
Yeah.
But so I was just like, "What do you listen to?" And he gave me like what he listened to, and I took that, and then what I was interested in was not exactly the same, so I found the balance of podcasts I liked, and I was like, "Okay, that's interesting." Like it's just talking, really, and
Right.
like it's like the one thing in my life that I've been able to do all the time is just talk.
Yeah.
It's funny because like over the years I've tried to tell all of my friends, anybody, like, hey, you got to check out this podcast. You've got to listen to this. Like stuff's happening. Like information is so readily available, and I'd be telling people things, and they'd be like, no, blah blah blah. Like I'm telling you, like there's stuff going on, and then finally somebody comes up to me and says, "What are you listening to?" Oh, I got you.
Yeah.
Finally, this is the moment I've been waiting for.
Yeah.
So like
awesome.
we're driving around all day. We're listening to podcasts probably like 8 hours a day.
Wow.
And we're, when we meet up, we're like, yo, did you listen to this one? Like, no, but did you listen to this one? And we're like, well, why can't we do that? And I had it in my mind, like, before that with Neo, our first guest. And I was like, dude, we got to do something like this. And it just, like, never comes to fruition because you wait, you hold off the equipment,
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah. But
But-
Kev was like, let's do it. I was like, oh, are you serious?
You were gung ho because you asked Neo and said, "Let's do this," and he was like, "Yeah, sure," and then nothing happened. And you come to me and you're like, "Yo, we should do this." I was like, "Yeah, sure," and then nothing happened for like 2
Yeah.
years.
No. Yeah.
And then also encouragement from other people. Like you go out into the world and you start saying things, and people are generally either like, ah, yeah, whatever, or some people like Chris Peace or like, which I don't think he'll do our podcast, but whatever. But other people are just like, oh yeah, you think you can do? Why don't you do it then?
Yeah.
Why don't you do it right now? And
Exactly.
it's like, well, yeah, but I mean, we need the equipment, and like, I don't really not everything's not right. It's not
Yeah.
perfect, and it's like, well, all
There's-
I did was buy the equipment, and we're doing it.
There's
That's
always
awesome.
there's always some kind of excuse not to,
Yeah.
which
Yes.
like we kind of figured that out and got past it to where we're like, just do it. Like who
For the
and-
most part.
and
I
who-
mean, last weekend when it was just us doing a podcast, like, we'll skip this one.
Yeah.
But
yeah, and it's just circumstances where
and he plays
you, like,
hockay on the weekends.
Right.
Gets
I-
in the way.
I like to do things. Stan
Yeah.
is always like, "Why aren't you here doing a podcast?" I'm like, "'Cause I got a life, loser."
It's true.
That's funny. That's awesome though. That's really cool.
But yeah, all we did was we just bought this equipment and we showed up, and luckily enough, he has a bunch of interesting people that I don't know, and then I happen to find Russ.
Right. And he knows everybody.
And he knows everybody.
He knows everybody.
Yeah. So, and we had a bunch of like Mr. Shabazz, huge supporter of us. Like,
Mhm.
he's got us a couple guests. Like, it's really everybody kind of wants to be part of. Once you start something, people want to hop on board
Yeah.
and help. So that's the cool part, and I'm sure you experience that.
Yeah, definitely.
So much.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I mean, like, and even just what you were saying about like people's like words of encouragement. Like, it's like one thing, you can reinforce yourself and you can tell yourself, all right, look, I got this. But sometimes like all it takes is you just need like a little push and you need a little shove, and it's for somebody else to say, all right, you got it. You can do it. And that's all that it takes. And then, you're doing like these amazing things and it just takes off, Sometimes it's really just all it takes.
But also, there's a big difference because you have talent, and we're just gonna put out so much stuff that you can't help but see us.
Well,
So it's,
I mean, hey, that's part of social media. That's
Exactly.
part of how it works. You just keep going. You never know where things are gonna end up.
throw it out there. Like, we're just having a good time.
It is fun to
just
see,
having
like,
fun.
like I had one of my buddies that I play Xbox with that I've known since high school. He texted me last week after one of our episodes came out, and he was like, ha ha ha, like that, like when I said the brain attack instead of like I made this stupid joke, and he texted me like the day after it came out. I was like, oh my god, that's so funny, and like whatever. I was like, oh shit, like I didn't even think you knew I had a podcast and you're
Nice.
listening.
That's
Like
great.
it's fun.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's really cool.
Yeah, man, it's pretty exciting.
awesome.
Even at just like this a small level, even if we never like get any further, like it's still fun. Like,
Yeah.
and we're meeting young people that are cool. That's
This is
huge.
people in general. Like
Yeah.
we haven't met somebody where I'm like, that guy was kind of a dick. Like,
Yeah,
or,
hopefully
we
like,
can
that
get there.
girl was like a little bit of a bitch. Like nobody
Right.
has been not cool that we've talked
Yeah,
to.
which is really awesome.
And
That's
everybody's
really
super
cool.
excited about coming on a small, tiny podcast.
Yeah, they're like-
so I'm super hyped
Like,
about
oh,
that.
thank you
Yeah.
for letting us do the podcast. I was like, you really like.
I tell
Thank
everybody
you.
as they're
It's-
leaving, I'm like, you're the content. Like we're just like we're the recording device.
Well, it's just an awesome outlet. Like it's just a cool thing to do. And I was just, even like when I'm older and when I have kids one day, and for them to like listen to this podcast and they're gonna be like, oh my gosh, this was my mom when she was 18 talking about like what she did as like a kid. Like I feel like that's just like a cool thing to look back on.
What'll be super cool is like one day I hope somebody that came on here is like doing really big things, and they're
Yeah.
like, hey, look at this stupid podcast I did.
Oh my gosh,
Right.
look back on it. We
Yes,
knew you
we
when.
got
That's
you.
when you say we knew you when.
Yeah, man.
And we'll
That's
be
awesome.
done the podcast and be like, shit,
Yeah.
like now we're getting exposure. We got to start again.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we can like it'll be what the heck's that stupid the Karate Kid movie Cobra Kai.
Like,
Yeah.
the TV show.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's awesome.
Yeah, it should. Hopefully we find somebody that can bring us along for the ride.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's our story. That's why everybody's always like they try to turn around like we've got nothing. Like we just bought $1,000 worth of equipment and we talk.
Well, it was just we're both interested in podcasts.
Yeah.
And like I've said, I don't have I can't draw. I can I
Stick
can, but I'm
figures.
bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I can't sing well. I don't have that artistic release
Yeah.
that a lot of people have. And especially the guys that I play hockey with, a lot of them they're artists, graphic designers,
Yeah.
musicians, they all have their this thing that I'm playing hockey with them, getting jealous of man, I want a thing. I want to
Yeah.
have this release, this creation kind of.
They're like, we played in front of 100 people last night, no big deal. Now I'm
Yeah.
playing hockey with you, and you got a mustache and a mullet. So what?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so it's man.
But I also feel like it does take something, just to sit here and just be able to talk and articulate, and just be able to, it's something that people like to listen to. So
Hopefully.
Yeah.
don't discredit yourselves, because I feel like it does take something, to be able to come back and do this and have people say, all right, this is awesome. I want to come on here. Or, I want, we're
Yeah.
people are listening. It's
we're
cool.
doing it. That's
Yeah,
I mean,
we're doing it
Exactly.
for sure. We're doing it.
half the hardest part was getting started. Now
Yeah.
we're rolling
Now it's
through
rolling.
it.
Exactly.
It's been over a year of doing a podcast.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Now we can link you up with his musician friends and all
Yeah.
of those musicians. Then you've got connects in Philly.
Exactly. Yeah, that's awesome.
Creating a little network here.
Yeah,
Exactly. Express Lane Network.
That's what we're doing. Yeah.
That's great. I love it.
So you're not out there partying and stuff, huh? You're just going to school and playing music.
Yeah, it's not really my crowd. Never really has been. I just haven't really enjoyed doing that kind of stuff. I just like to, stay focused, accomplish things, set goals, keep stuff organized as much as I can, just
Let's
live life.
You have this focus of something that you're drawn to, where I think for both of us at 18, 19, we're just wandering lost, and it's oh, there's a party. Like, let's just wander that
Yeah.
direction.
My focus was party. Like, where is the party?
Where is the party
A
at?
lot of time wasted.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's just always, I mean, music has always just been a part of my life, so it's like always just been a primary focus. You know what I mean? Like, there's no really time for me to waste doing that stuff because that's just
awesome.
always, I've always just had music to go to. I've always had that as like a driving force, in high school too. Like, Friday, Saturday nights, people would be out, doing whatever they're doing. And even now in college, do whatever you do on Friday, Saturday nights. Sometimes I'm playing Friday, Saturday night. Sometimes I'm playing Wednesday night. Sometimes I'm playing, Sunday morning. Like, just stuff like that,
And it's credit to Ange and Vinyl Closet for, like you said, you were 13 playing there.
Yeah.
And that's I think a big step to be like, oh, I've been playing in front of people for 5 years.
Yeah.
Like that nerves and jitters is kind of old news at this point.
Yeah, and I mean, there's a lot of other people too. Ange and Jay, they've been a really big part of it. But there's a list of people, and I could go on and on for hours that have really just helped me since I was just such a young age. And they saw it then. They saw, all right, here's this young girl, and she wants to do this. Like, she wants to do this. We're gonna help her out. And I couldn't be more grateful because there's been a lot of really, really awesome people who have just helped me and supported me along the way. This is amazing.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I bet your parents are happy.
Yeah, they're very happy. They're very proud. They're like my biggest fans.
Awesome.
Yeah, and it's even like my Nana, she's like, oh my gosh, she probably is my biggest fan. It's really awesome. Like, my family just is really supportive. They always have been, they always will be. My sister's super supportive too, and I couldn't ask for anything more. It's really awesome to have that support. It's really cool.
So then when you're going out there, it's just from the thing you just posted, like it's just you and a guitar, and then you bring your own stand.
Yeah, so
and you just show up and like, I'm here.
Yeah, pretty much. So like if I do like just like a regular gig, like I just have my sound system and I bring my keyboard, I bring my guitar, and my dad comes with me, and just to make sure you don't get any
that's kind
stragglers,
of
and and that's
creepy
another
people.
Yeah, and that's another thing about being like a young girl, It's just me, you know what I mean? And sometimes I'm way too nice to people, and, that's just the whole thing in itself. But, you need that. I need, I wouldn't be able to do what I do if my dad wasn't, there with me, or, I didn't have people with me and, coming with me to support me. So, you see on the flyer, it's just me, but, there's really people that come, and, we have a family friend, Cole Rose, and he's just come with, like, he's like best friends with my dad. He's my age. Like, he comes over my house all the time, like, just to hang out with my dad. He's awesome. But, he's always, coming to my shows, and, he'll come help me set up. What can I do? Tell me what to do. All right, I need this. You got that. Like, whatever, like, I need. Like, they're like, the two invisible names when you see, I'm
Good.
playing, which is it's really awesome.
Yes.
It's really cool.
That's definitely cool, especially if you start getting gigs out in Westchester,
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, sometimes they're, a little bit of a drive. The farthest I probably played was like 45 minutes. Like, it's never too crazy, nothing too bad, but I mean, I definitely appreciate them coming with me, and, even Joe sometimes, like, he'll, like, when he's not doing the Dinah stuff, like, he'll come and, like, help and, like, be supportive, and, everybody, like, whenever in the music community, like, I'm not doing something, or, I see this band is playing, I, try to go support as much as you can, because it's really just so awesome. It's so cool, because it's not something that happens all the time, like, to be able to go and see other bands. And that's why I love doing, like, festivals and stuff, because then you have all of these, like, really awesome musicians all in the same place, and you get to see them all in the same day, which is why I love doing stuff like that. So it's really cool just to be able to see other people play when you can too.
Yeah, like if Kev didn't have to go to that baseball game, stupid sports, we would have stayed there all day. $15, all you can drink.
Yeah, no, I definitely would have been there for that. But Phillies, national championship,
woohoo!
Yeah,
like, whatever.
It happens.
Sports.
Yeah.
It's my thing.
I get it.
Yep, priorities. I mean, when the Phils are playing like they are, then
absolutely.
That's what you gotta. You gotta be a huge sports fan, like in your position, so you can get in there with them.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I mean, one of my biggest goals is probably to sing the national anthem for the 76ers. That's like one of like my biggest things since I was really young. I literally would be sending submissions before they even like had it like in an online version. They would say, "All right, mail us in a yellow envelope with like, you know, one of like the little tapes or one of the CDs and burn the recording of you singing the national anthem onto the CD and mail it off to us. And I was doing that. Like, I was doing that at like 11 years old. So I've been trying for so long. So if any of you know somebody, make it happen. It's a little girl's dream, and she's still trying to make it happen. But
Awesome.
Joe, didn't he meet anybody? They were just playing down, like he was playing drums
my gosh,
with like the Sixers crew.
There's a funny story behind that. So we went down. It was his 21st birthday. So tried to make it a little Sixers surprise, but he figured it out because he's smart, and it really wasn't a surprise, but it was still kind of a surprise. It was really fun. But Michaela, she's great. I love her. Then this is like just it's a good story. So she's just walking around. So these two people come up to Michaela and Catherine. They give them like free club tickets. They're like, oh, is it just you two? They're like, yeah. So then they take the club tickets. They go up to the club. And then they come back. And then the Sixers, they're just, you know, warming up or doing whatever. So from what I imagine, I don't know the exact story of how it went, but from, you know, my knowledge of how well I know Michaela, this is going to be my best guess. She goes probably something like, hey, so really random question. It's my brother's 21st birthday. He's a drummer. Like, if I can get him to come over, like, can he play with you guys? So then we get a call from Michaela, and, you know, Michaela's talking to Joe, and she's like, they're like, drums section, you know, whatever. So we're like running out of the seats. There's like a couple minutes left. We're all like, what is going on? So the Sixers were all set up, and then they did their whole thing. And at the very end, they put out one of like the drums for anybody who can go up to him. So first, me and Michaela shoved him to go do that. Then he started playing that. And then they let him go on the kit, which was like so cool.
So we're like, okay, you're good. You can
like,
come.
oh,
yeah, pretty much. It was like
doing.
a little bit of a pretest. Gotta make sure, you know, we don't want just anybody sitting back on the kit. But I mean, it was really cool. It's just one of those awesome things. Like, it's so much fun.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
Yeah. It's a cool experience.
Yeah, it sounds pretty awesome.
It definitely was. It was really cool. It's a good day.
So anybody from the Sixers that's listening,
yeah,
hit her up.
Yeah. I'm your girl. You can check it out on my YouTube. I got videos. I sang it for the Reading Phillies too. I sang that like
so
3 or 4 times.
Off.
Yeah, I've done that, which is really, really awesome.
So
That's
there's a
cool
resume
experience.
out there. People have
It's
hired her,
happened.
and you're going
It's
to lose out,
happened.
Sixers.
Yeah, you got it. Come on. I know my submissions are in there. I know they've been racking up over the years. I know they're sitting in there somewhere.
Let's check the file.
Yeah, yep.
Ava's is like this long.
Yeah, like a record number of submissions. I honestly would not be surprised. I've submitted that thing so many times. So many times.
Let's just start tagging them, like everything you do, like tag.
Oh yeah,
Sixers.
tag Sixers. I mean, look, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But I mean, that's just always been.
I
one
think
of,
you're
my
on your way.
things.
You've got to
Thank
be.
you.
So national anthem at the Sixers aside, what would be the next like thing that like what would you be trying to? Is there an event like a festival or a certain venue that you want to have your sights on to get into to play or anything like that?
I mean, really, I want to play like down in Philly, like big stages like that, New York. It's not that I don't have goals, but it's really, I just want to do this for fun. And I do set, the smaller goals I set, but the end goals, I'm just saying like, all right, I'm going to do whatever I can. I'm going to keep on grinding. And, you know, people, you know, they come and they go, because I don't want to like set these expectations of like, you know, if, you know, this doesn't happen or that doesn't happen and get caught all up in that, when it's really like, I just want to do this to do this. I just want to do this to have fun. I want to do this to have, you know, just the experience to be able to perform and to be able to share that with people. And, you know, whatever opportunity and whatever big venue comes my way, then I'll take it, you know?
Nice.
Not turning anything down.
Yeah, exactly. Take everything you can get. So
that sounds like a healthy way to deal with it.
Yeah.
That way you're not crazy and you're not like, no, I am this. Like if it happens, it happens.
Yeah.
And you're putting in the work and
Yeah.
you've got the talent. So
Thank you.
that's good.
Thank you.
I don't know. Sometimes you need a little bit of crazy.
Well,
like,
yeah, I mean,
You do. Oh, you definitely
look, crazy
do.
will drive you.
Like,
yeah.
look how far it got Kanye West until a week ago.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, I mean, you need a little bit of that edge, and you need a little bit of that just willingness to try, willingness to ask, and, you know, see where it goes. But I mean, just everything is an opportunity, you know what I mean? Like, that's the way I look at it. Like, when I'm driving or when I go on a road trip and, oh, there's a restaurant, they look like they have music. All right, let me write these down. You know, let me write this place down, and I'm gonna figure out what their deal is. I'm gonna see, when they have music, and how far away they are from me, and we'll see what happens. Just always being on the lookout, seeing whatever opportunities can happen.
Nice.
Yeah.
Are you I guess back to the question. So you don't have your own music yet because you want it to be perfect.
Yeah,
so right
which
now
is
you're
that's
just
just like my perfectionist
Yeah,
in
I
me.
gotcha.
Like I've just always been like that, but hopefully one day
But
down
you
the
look
road.
at those kids, like the contact like kids, like now that they're on our Instagram, like they're doing all kinds. They're on Spotify and stuff, and like they're just out there releasing stuff. Do you know that those kids?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So they're just out there doing their thing,
Which is awesome.
Yeah.
Which is really cool. But yeah, hopefully at some point in the near future I get to do that.
No.
It's definitely one of my next probably goals is to, have my own music.
Release some originals.
Yeah, definitely.
So in the meantime, do you have a favorite artist or a favorite song to cover?
Oh,
Don't tell me it's Adele.
Oh, please be Adele.
I do love Adele.
Yes. Everybody loves Adele except you, Stan.
I know. I love her. She is like one of like my biggest inspirations. Just because my voice just resonates so like well with her music. Because I've been compared to Adele a lot of times.
Yeah, you have that.
That's okay. That's like a very like big compliment to have. To like taking that very humbly because Adele is Adele and I am me.
Yes.
So
That's
there's a lot of big differences there because she's just an insane vocalist. But yeah, I love her stuff. I really do. And especially to play on the keys. It's just so fun. But I've always loved Taylor Swift. I've always been a big Taylor Swift fan since I was really little. Watched all the documentaries, read every book. And I always, she's from here. She's from like 45 minutes away.
Oh,
so she's from Reading.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
okay.
I've always really been into her stuff. And, I like to listen to as much as I can. Like, there's really not much music that I won't listen to other than, like, heavy metal and like straight rap. Like, I try to listen to a little bit of everything. So
What's like your favorite newest stuff that you found, do you think?
Ooh, I don't know. I like Lauren Daigle a lot. I've been listening to her. She's a Christian artist. I've been listening to a lot of her stuff recently. It's not a recent album, but it was like 20 maybe we're gonna say in the late 2010s. So
But
it's
something
one of
you
her
just
stuff.
found.
Yeah,
that you
so
were like, oh, I like this.
yeah, and I knew a couple of her songs, but I've been listening to that album. That one's been like on repeat. So
Nice. I've been listening to a bunch of that Suzanne Santo. Like she's on her own. She used to be with Honey Honey,
Oh,
but it's same. She's not like a new artist.
yeah,
But I found recently, I was like, man, she can sing. Like
Right.
this is good music. So you
Yeah.
fall into it, and you're like, oh, this is new. And you look at it, it's 10 years old.
yeah, exactly. But hey, if it's new to you, then it's new to you. Yeah, very cool.
No new music.
You're not
It's-
listening to
it's-
anything new.
It's
You got
Immortal
the-
Technique and
the
Jedi.
same three
Lupe
bands.
Fiasco get mixed in there. Freeway came back recently. I went down to Philly and I was like, you know what? If you're on 95, you've got to listen to Freeway.
Yeah.
So no music here.
Oh, well,
If you
Sing
like
my
it, you
ways.
like it.
Nope.
Patrick said he's like Stan's all about his like the new artist thing that he's doing.
No,
with
I
his-
do like his
I
shit.
know.
Like that's cool. Cause like, so his brother works for a radio station and he puts these Instagram posts of like weird music that you'll never listen to, but like you hear it there and you're like, oh, that's actually kind of good. And I never go to look up the song to get it on Spotify, but I do like those clips.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool.
Thanks, Patrick.
Yeah, keep it up just for Stan.
Yeah, seriously. I'll give you a like every time. I try.
He appreciates it.
And that's what it takes too. Like, when you put out stuff, like just a little like and just a little bit of support.
Yeah, he's got
social
ideas.
media-wise,
Like
yeah.
that's what's cool about Patrick. That's probably the only thing. 'Cause
No,
his
so-
hairstyle is not. But he's got ideas. He's like, I'm putting together this thing and I'm thinking about doing this, and he really likes music. That's why I like that kid.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Nice. That's a nice thing you said, Stan. That's
I'm trying to be a nice person. I
know.
really am.
It's tough for
It's tough. You revel in negativity for so long, you know?
you. Yeah, you're like a pig in shit with
Yeah.
it sometimes.
Absolutely. With flies.
Mhm.
What's coming up?
Well, today I'm at Fairview Village Church, so I'm playing 6 o'clock there, and then I'm still in the process of booking a couple other things. So I'm at Screwballs in December. So for like a little happy hour thing.
I was gonna say if you were there later, I'd come.
Yeah, I know. And then I'm at the Smokehouse Tavern again, just like kind of like a little couple pop-up things. There's a couple things that are like in the works still in confirmation, but
Oh, we'll all be at the Rib House in December, right?
December.
For Angie's thing?
Oh, yes.
Okay,
There's
cool.
that December something.
That'll probably be I might try to make it to the Rib House before then, just to like 'cause I've
that's
never
Go
been
get
there.
great
food at the
venue.
Red House.
Yeah,
November
yeah.
4th. You got Dallas. It's his birthday, so he's doing the happy hour slot
Friday.
from like
I'm off.
5 to 8, and then Dinah is playing 8:30 to 12:30. November 4th. Be there.
That's where I'm gonna be at.
Hey, that's
Yeah.
this Friday coming up.
You gonna come out after work? If
Possibly.
you don't work the night.
Maybe it all depends. Like hopefully, well, they got TVs, I'm sure, but
They do. They do
So
got the
it's like,
TVs.
'cause
I
if
know
the-
the game's
Jesus.
on.
Well,
I know
if the
the
Phillies
game's on.
need Game 6, then it would be that
Game
Friday.
6.
So
Yeah, but I mean,
Alright.
they got TVs there,
Yeah,
so
see,
you'll
I
be
can do- I can do
okay. You'll
both.
be okay. You can compromise, but yeah, that's gonna be a
Alright.
fun one.
Good. Now that I know, and then
Yep.
you make sure you make a good little Instagram post for that,
Yeah.
so I'll remember. It'll remind me all week.
I'll repost it. I'll share.
well, that's
theirs.
not her. That's
Yeah.
that's
That's
Well, yeah,
Dallas
but you
That's
can
Dynamite.
throw
Dallas and
that on
Dinah.
there. Like
Mhm.
you throw other people's stuff on there.
Oh
don't you?
yeah,
Or
I
in
mean,
your story.
on
maybe.
my page. I try.
Yeah.
I always share. Their
I like
stuff.
that because like then it's not only like so if you're not playing that weekend, but you posted somebody else's story to hype them up.
Yeah,
I like that too.
yeah. I mean, I want to see them succeed as much as they can because
Yeah.
they have so much talent.
Somebody's going to, right?
Oh yeah.
Out of this little Norristown area, somebody's going to
Mhm.
succeed, right?
Yeah, I mean they've got it. They've got everything. I will be their number one fan until the day
They'll
I'm
need
gone.
openers and stuff.
Oh yeah, I mean even if it happens, it doesn't happen. Whatever, like just to see them doing their thing, like just it's reach as many people as they can because they, personality wise, they bring a lot of joy to people, but they also do the same thing when they're on stage together too.
For sure, his little Elvis thing, he kills it.
Chuck, yeah, he loves that. he loves that.
think
That's like one of my dad's favorite things. My dad loves coming to the Dinah gigs too. And like one time, I think it was at the MSS feast, and Chuck started doing that, and it was the first time that my dad had seen it. He had his phone out so quick. He was like recording it. He was like, "Oh my god, this is great! This is great! This is
Have
awesome!"
you seen it on there?
no, I haven't.
Oh, I
He's
gotta
was
show
doing
you.
like
Go ahead,
the
explain it to me.
legs,
Yeah.
like
Oh yeah, they
He
do
does
like,
the whole thing.
They do this like Hound Dog Can't Buy Me Love mashup, and
okay.
Chuck, yeah, November 4th. November 4th.
You'll see
I'm
it
not going to
live.
spoil it all, but they do a mashup. And when they do, make sure you're paying attention.
Make sure I'm
'Cause-
watching
yeah,
Chuck.
Make sure you're watching
Got it.
Chuck. Make sure you're watching Chuck because that's just something that you just got to see it in person. I can't even.
I'll tell you what, these older ladies, like I thought I had older ladies on lockdown, like they love those two guys. So you've got to watch out for your boyfriend as well. Like the older ladies love those two.
Yeah, I mean they're great.
Yeah. Because they're playing their music and they're like hyping up the crowd, like they're into it.
Yeah, the older ladies love them.
And they're drinking a little.
Yeah, then that's a whole other thing.
Yeah, huh?
Ross has to watch his kids.
Well, that's why he's there with him.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's cool.
You want to talk about anything else?
I don't know. I mean, I don't have anything else to add, but
I mean, I got one thing that
What do you got?
it's completely unrelated to anything else, but I saw it 3 days ago and I haven't been able to not think about it for like this whole time. But I was driving down the street and I saw like what I think was a blind guy, which I'm not really even sure, walking down the sidewalk, but I don't know, but because he had one of those canes, like the white cane with the
Yeah.
red tip, and he was walking, but I don't like he had the cane, but I don't think he was blind for two reasons. The one, because he had the cane under his arm and just walking, and he had this like confidence, like that he was walking, like the kind of confidence that really only comes from being able to see where you're going. And I'm just like, if that's not like, whose cane was it, and why did he have it?
Well, I think that a misconception about blind people is you think like totally like blind, whereas there's different variations.
No, I know there's levels
That's
of
true.
blind,
Levels.
but I think like when you need the stick to walk around,
Maybe just for curbs and stuff. Like maybe he can like see light and dark and just.
I don't know. I was like, made me think. I was like, I think this guy stole like a blind person's like stick.
oh my god,
Maybe.
I
never
don't
know.
know. That's what I'm saying. I've been thinking about it for 3 days because I saw it. And I was like, what happened?
Where
there?
you at? In
That's
Paoli?
great.
No, right
Oh,
down
alright.
on Trooper Road.
All right. Yeah, that guy might have stole it.
Yeah, you never know.
If he's walking towards Norristown, yeah, he beat up a blind
Yeah.
person and stole it.
That's what I'm saying.
All right. You should have stopped him.
That's a risky
Nah.
bet there.
Not my job.
That's a risky bet.
Yeah, so that's it. That's the only thing I have.
As usual, I've got nothing.
Yeah,
I usually just
you
look-
have to like go out and do things to have
Yeah.
stories.
Maybe this week I'll go out and do stuff.
Yeah.
I have off all week, so I'll be getting clips for sure. Putting up content.
Okay.
Awesome.
I think
me.
November 4th, you'll be at the Ribby.
I'll be at the Ribby
Yep.
for sure.
Yep.
And then again for Angie's birthday.
Yeah.
And then I do want to meet the Ribby lady. Like everybody talks, like she's really
Melissa.
nice.
Yeah, she's so sweet. She's
Yeah.
so sweet.
Yeah,
And
let's get a
supportive.
live podcast going.
Yeah.
I mean, we could.
That'd be
I
cool.
doubt it.
Yeah.
That's a crazy place. That place, you're lucky if you can like walk around in there.
Especially when
sometimes.
sports are on.
Yeah, especially when sports on and you got Dinah the Band in there. That place
Yeah.
is gonna be
Double packed.
crazy. Yeah.
Well, Screwballs was packed that one time. Like we had to sit in
Oh,
the
yeah.
little game room.
Oh
yeah,
my gosh,
we were off
yeah.
to the side for that Dinah show.
Yeah, yeah, they pack their shows.
I have to thank Michaela and her mom because like now I think I gotta go do that train thing. They went on a train or something in Lehigh
Oh.
Valley or something.
Yeah. They went on this like little trip thing.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh,
looks
it
cool.
looks so cool. Looks so cool.
like
They're
a
up in like the
like
Poconos.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like this Poconos trail.
Let's drive a couple hours and then get on a train.
Like train
It's
where you
gonna be
like
great.
Yeah.
you sleep on a train type of trip,
I don't
or
know. I think you just drive around, you look at trees or something.
Yeah, something like
Girls
that.
love that stuff.
Yeah, I'm guilty.
fall activities.
It
Gotta-
is, yes, you understand.
gotta get into it.
Yes.
All right. Well, we thank you very much for
Yeah,
coming
thank
on.
you for coming
Thank
around.
you.
This was awesome.
Thank you for having me.
And
Very
this has
cool.
been another. Shout out all your stuff. Like, how can
Yeah.
people find
Oh,
you?
yeah. Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Ava Difiore Music. So just my name, it'll be in the title or something.
Yeah, I'll put it in the
something,
title
and then
and I'll
just
tag
music
you.
at the end. So really super simple, easy
Yeah,
to find.
We'll get the tags out there and
Yeah, that's awesome.
go, like, subscribe, do all
Yeah.
the stuff for her
Follow.
socials. And Sixers, seriously, before you can't.
And if you're
Have her
looking
sing
for
the national
actual
anthem.
talented people, like, and you're for some reason on our page, then you can go to hers.
Yeah, like just definitely like and subscribe us, but then do that real quick
Yeah,
and go
do
to
both.
the real
do
talent.
both. Do both. It's easy. All you got to do is click a button on your phone.
That's
you can
it.
do it. You do it all day.
This is another episode of The Express Lane
With Kevin Stan.
and Ava.
All right. Thanks.
See ya.
Peace.